Hey there guys, welcome to another video. In today's video, I'm going to go ahead and review the iPhone 12 mini. Let's get into it. Alright, so we'll briefly talk about specs on the iPhone 12 mini. So the iPhone 12 and the 12 mini both share the same specifications, just a difference of size there. So of course they come in the same colors, black, white, product red, green, and blue. It does have the ceramic shield front, which is supposedly more shatter resistant than previous models. Of course has a glass back and aluminum design. The capacities on both also are the same. We have 64 gigabytes base, 128 gigs, or 256 gigs as our storage size options. The iPhone 12 mini comes at 4.76 ounces in weight, or 135 grams. The iPhone 12, on the other hand, is 5.78 ounces, or 164 grams. And of course, if you get the Pro version, that's going to be even heavier because of the material differences. So of course, we do have a 5.4-inch display on the Mini. It is a Super Retina XDR display. It is an OLED display, as all the iPhone 12 models are. We have a resolution of 2340 by 1080 at 476 pixels per inch. Both the iPhone 12 and 12 mini have an HDR display. They do offer True Tone, wide color P3 color gamut, haptic touch, a 2,000,000:1 contrast ratio, 625 nits of max brightness, 1200 nits max brightness with HDR, which you will definitely notice when you're taking photographs. It does have an oleophobic coating, support for multiple languages, all that good stuff there. It is rated IP68 for dust and water resistance. Does have the A14 Bionic chip, which is the latest and greatest chip that they offer here. We do have dual 12 megapixel cameras, so one is an ultra wide and one is a regular wide camera. The ultra wide is a 2.4 aperture with a 120-degree field of view. The wide is a 1.6 aperture. It has 2x optical zoom and digital zoom up to 5x. So if you want the zoom, you do not want to get the iPhone 12 or 12 mini. If you need zoom, you need to upgrade to the Pro models because those offer 10x zoom, and even that is not really that great. But if you want to zoom in on things, go for the Pro model. You'll thank me later. They offer optical image stabilization, portrait lighting, portrait mode on both the front as well as the rear camera, 5-element lens, True Tone flash, panorama, sapphire crystal lens cover, all this good stuff. It does offer night mode on all the cameras. So if you did have the iPhone 11 last year, then you know you only had a night mode on just one camera. So this is actually on both the regular wide, the ultra wide, and the front camera. So that's a really nice addition there. You can do 4K video recording at 24, 25, 30, or 60 frames per second. The front camera, of course, is our Face ID camera, and that is a 12 megapixel sensor at a 2.2 aperture. Portrait mode also with that, portrait lighting. They do have Animoji and Meeboji, all that good stuff. Night mode, as I said before, and that one does 4K recording also at 24, 25, 30, or 60 frames per second. So, for the first time on the iPhone, 5G is supported across all the iPhone 12 models. So, these do support, in the United States, sub-6 5G as well as millimeter wave 5G. So, that is a whole other can of beans that I won't really open in this video, but the only way you're going to get those super fast speeds is if you have the millimeter wave, and the only carrier that really offers that is Verizon, and even that's a very slim picking because it's only in specific cities. So, yeah. So it also does have gigabit LTE with 4x4 MIMO, and that just basically means it's going to have better signal, and it is better than the iPhone 11 and the iPhone 10 are before it. Now, it does have Wi-Fi 6, so the brand new standard 802.11ax with 2x2 MIMO, Bluetooth 5.0, ultra wideband chip for spatial awareness, so it works with all the new AirPods, so the AirPods Pro and AirPods Max. Alright, so you guys know that the iPhone 12 mini is the smallest of the bunch here, so it comes in with a 5.4-inch display, and as you can see, it fits in my hand just fine, and I am 5 foot 6 inches tall, so I'm not the tallest guy in the world here, so if it fits in my hand, it's going to fit in your hand just fine. But I did want to go ahead and do a quick comparison with a couple other phones just to give you a full perspective on how small this phone is. Alright, here's a quick comparison between the iPhone 12 mini and the iPhone 12 Pro. So the iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone 12 are 6.1 inches diagonally, while the iPhone 12 mini is 5.4 inches. Here it is next to the iPhone 12 Pro Max. 5.4 inches, 6.7 inches. So if you like small phones, this one is definitely small, and this thing could basically eat the entire iPhone 12 mini. Let's compare it to a older style iPhone like the iPhone 8. Now the iPhone 8's design and size is shared with a couple different versions, so you can see the same design with the iPhone 6, 6S, 7, 8, and the second generation SE. And as you can see, it has a 4.7-inch display. We have the huge tin on the top and bottom. And as you can see, compared to the iPhone 12 mini, it is just a bit taller and a bit wider because we have a little bit of bezel on the side right there. But that's a little comparison between those two. Let's compare it to an even older iPhone. Here is an iPhone 5, which also shares the same design with the iPhone 5S, as well as the first generation SE. And these are probably the closest to kin, I think, because just the white and silver on these both look so similar to me. You can see it's a little bit taller, the iPhone 12 mini, as well as a little bit wider. But of course we have a 4-inch screen here and a 5.4-inch screen there. But as you can see, the design is so similar. They did the squared off edges, of course, and it's super similar to the iPhone 5 series. And on the back, you can see a little resemblance also there, right there. A little quick comparison between the smallest phone that I own here, and that would be this one, the Palm phone. Nothing will beat the Palm phone, but the Palm phone is 3.3 inches, and it's much smaller than the iPhone 12 mini. So if you thought the iPhone 12 mini was small, that one is much smaller. So another big change that Apple made for this time around is they changed the box here. So now the box is literally half the size, and they have removed the charger from the box. Now, of course, if you think Apple is the only one that's going to do that, you're wrong, because Samsung actually just adopted this with their newly announced Galaxy S21. So if you are missing a charger, you're going to have to buy one yourself now, unfortunately. So what comes in the box here? Well, every box for every iPhone 12 is going to be this size, and all you get in the box here is, of course, your charger. You do get a Lightning to USB-C, so I hope you have a USB-C adapter. Otherwise, you'll be using your old iPhone charger if you still have it. And then we get the documentation, which of course is very slim, and you get only one Apple sticker this time instead of two. All right, let's briefly talk about design here. So, gone are the days of the rounded edges and rounded corners of the iPhone. We are now back to these squared off edges from previous iPhones, and that was why I wanted to compare it to the iPhone 5, because we've been here before. So the iPhone 4 and the iPhone 5 have basically very, very similar design. I mean, minus the, of course, the rounded buttons for the volume. It looks very, very similar. So of course we have a flat display, which is always appreciated. We do have that still large notch. So as you can see, the notch has not changed much from the iPhone 10. This is a 10R, but the 11 was the same design. And as you can see, that Face ID is just still a large notch. So if you don't like the notch, I'm sorry, you got to deal with the notch again. So of course we do have the 5.4-inch display here. We have the squared off edges here. On this side, you can see we do have those little antenna bands that are showing on the top and bottom right here. We have a power key, and on the United States models with 5G, we do have a little 5G window. It's kind of ugly, but it's got to be there. So that's nice, right? On the opposite side, we do have our silent switch, which is, normal. We've got our volume keys, which are the pill-style volume keys, antenna bands right there. Our SIM card tray is right here on the side. On the bottom here, we do have our Lightning, speaker, and mic. And as you can see, the microphone has 2 dots, and based on the size of the phone, you'll get more or less. So on the 12 and 12 Pro, you get 3. And then on the Pro Max, you get a total of 4. Now around back, you can see it is a very similar design to the iPhone 11. So we do have those 2 cameras, we have the flash, we have the microphone right there. We do have the Apple logo centered right here, and it is a nice white color. So of course you can get these in different colors. And compared to the iPhone 12 Pro Max right here, you can see the camera differences right here. So of course, if you get the Pro model, you're getting 3 cameras. But the design of the cameras looks pretty similar to the 11 and 11 Pro and Pro Max. So nothing crazy there. Of course, different colors. But again, another difference is, of course, you're going with aluminum with the 12 mini and 12, and you're getting stainless steel on the iPhone 12 Pro and 12 Pro Max. So of course the newest iPhone comes with the newest iOS, so this does come with iOS 14, and iOS 14 has some features like widgets. So you now can add widgets to your home screen. We have an app library here. We do have a translate app, have a bunch of little things, but of course all of these things can also be run on other iPhones as well. So there's no outstanding feature that's specific to the iPhone 12 mini here. But if you love iOS, you get it on the iPhone 12 mini. Now, of course, the iPhone 12 mini is no slouch. You do get the Apple A14 Bionic chip, and here is our Geekbench score here. So we do get a 1586 single core and 3813 on the multi-core. I don't have this updated to the latest iOS, but it, of course, is a screamer, and of course, it does have 4 gigs of RAM. If you go with the Pro model, you're going to get 6 gigs of RAM, and then you also have very fast storage. So again, those storage sizes, you get 64 gigs, 128 gigs, or 256 gigs, and that is not expandable. Alright, so of course, as I mentioned, the performance on the iPhone 12 mini is really, really good. So I'm just going to show you a couple of different social media apps. So of course, we have Twitter here. And as you can see, that loads up just fine. Scrolling is fantastic. Of course, we want to open a tweet here. Everything is perfect, runs really well. If we want to open Instagram here, that opens up really quickly also. We can go through and we can like all that good stuff. Go to the camera. Let's see, can we go to the camera right there? As you can see, runs just fine. Yeah, so everything is super fluid, super fast on here. We'll go to a couple websites real quick here. So we'll go to Apple's website. Runs really well. Check out the watch. Now, of course, we didn't get the 120 hertz display like I really would have loved, but it is still pretty fluid and still a nice display overall. And of course, it's OLED, so we have those beautiful colors and dark, deep blacks, which really, really make the experience really nice. And I will check out CNN because that's a very graphics-heavy website. And as you can see, it loads it up, no issue there. Now, along with a small phone, you also get a small battery. So the battery size on this one is 2,227 milliamp hours, which is very, very tiny. Now, with the inclusion of 5G, that's going to probably make it go down a little bit more. I did notice using 5G, of course, uses more battery, but I was able to get about 6 to 7 hours on a charge. So if you are coming from an iPhone XR or an iPhone 11, you're probably used to better battery life than that. So if you are looking to upgrade, I might recommend you go for the iPhone 12 instead of the iPhone 12 mini. Now, the iPhone 12 mini does include stereo speakers, so we do have sound coming from the bottom as well as your earpiece here. And unlike the other iPhone 12 models, this one actually does not have as loud of speakers. It is a smaller phone, of course, so you kind of expect that, but I will give you a little comparison between the iPhone 12 Pro as well as the iPhone 12 mini. So here is the 12 mini.
Take a seat, you cannot stand it. All I know, the flow harder than a scotch bunny. Don't try to me, you cannot manage.
Of course, we have some great cameras with the iPhone 12 mini. So let me go ahead and show you a couple samples from the iPhone 12 mini, and hopefully it'll give you an idea of the quality you'll get from the cameras.
Like, it's not windy, the air is just cold.
Here's a test of the front-facing camera. Walking around in the woods here. So, just like every other iPhone, it works really well. Alright, so my final thoughts on the iPhone 12 mini. I really do like the iPhone 12 mini. It is the smallest of the bunch, but it is really nice to see a flagship phone in a small form factor. Now, it does make it hard for me to recommend based on the price here because it is $730 to start, and there are plenty of other options out there for that price or even just a little bit more that will have a bigger screen. And I know if you're looking to downsize, this is a great option. I mean, it is a super pocketable phone and it is super light. And, you know, maybe if you're trying to reduce your usage, you could get one of these and you're still getting, like I said, the latest and greatest from iPhone. So you're getting the A14, you're getting all the storage options, you're getting those great cameras, the 5G, all that stuff. But it's just hard for me to recommend just based on price. And the battery on this is kind of a turnoff for me also because it is really small. And you can mostly get through a day, but I think I've gotten used to having a bigger phone and I love the bigger screen. and I also like having a battery that lasts me longer than a couple hours. So it's just hard for me to recommend. But overall, I think it is a great package, and I would say, you know, if you're interested in the iPhone 12 series, definitely check it out. But I have a feeling that a lot of people are going to overlook this one because it is a smaller phone and it's still really expensive. Had they priced this lower, it probably would have sold a lot better. But that's just my opinion on that. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this quick review of the iPhone 12 mini. If you did like the video, hit that like button. If you want to see more like this, consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next video.